It's about who you're becoming within that process, not the outcome. It's who are you evolving each day to be within what you're doing. And that's the most important thing for me, I feel, the nugget of truth. It's who am I becoming every day I'm walking this path. And the outcome, the final outcome sort of fades into the distance and becomes a little irrelevant sometimes. It's just, are you becoming a better person? Are you in touch more with yourself and others? And yeah, it's that. I think that's the most vital. Hi, I'm Sequin Kay, and you're entering a world gone good.
Well, hello, my name's Steve, and this is the place where we shine the light on everyday people making good happen each and every day. Welcome to World Gone Good. Hey, question. Are you all caught up on my first 3 cozy mysteries? You can find them on both Barnes & Noble and Amazon websites. You just search for Drown Town, Murder Unmasked, and Season Slayings. Support this here self-published, or as they say here in the UK, independent author. Independent. Sounds much fancier, doesn't it? Independent author. 3 super fun, funny, and kind of wrong mysteries await your reading pleasure. So, over 15 years ago, I created a little something called Pretty. It was a web series, as we called them back then, all about Michael Champagne and his pageant-losing daughter, Annette. I bring this up to you now, not to try to convince you to go watch it. Yes, it's still up on YouTube. Just go search for Pretty the series if you want to watch it. But for 2 other reasons of why I bring this up. 1, it was the first time I put my art up on a worldwide stage. I say that because thanks to the internet, anyone, anywhere could watch Pretty, which I gotta admit was equally as thrilling as it was daunting and nerve-wracking and extremely upsetting at times because, as you know, everyone has an opinion, and back then we were all starting to share our opinions, good, bad, and ugly, behind the protection of our screens. So yes, pluses and minuses with sharing one's own art. And 2, Pretty required a crap ton of sequins. It took place at a child's pageant after all, so that kind of makes sense. Our good guest today knows more than a little bit about points A and B, or rather 1 and 2, that I just mentioned. Sequin Kay is a full-time artist, and just like her name alludes to, she's all about the shiny stuff and making her light bright enough for us all to see. Here comes Sequin Kay to shine up your day or night, depending on when you're listening. So last week we were in Germany, and this week we are in España. What do we say it for Spain? How do they say it in Spain?
España.
España. You're in Spain, but you don't have a Spanish accent, my friend.
No, I'm in Ibiza at the moment. No, I have an accent which is very London-based.
Which is where you're from.
Yes, yeah.
What are you doing in Ibiza?
So I am in Ibiza because my business partner has opened up a gallery here on the island, and I flew in on Monday for the opening and dropped off a crystal art piece for the opening, which was very exciting. So I've been here for a week, and I have a solo show here in May, and I've just been preparing and planning and getting some pieces of artwork together for that.
Let's talk about this life. You have a friend with an art gallery on an island, and you're just flying in with a piece of artwork. Wow. Which makes your name Sequin Kay kind of fitting, and I want to start there. The name Sequin Kay, when did you come up with that moniker?
About 10 years ago, I really fell in love with sequins and all things to do with light and reflectivity. And I got very involved, so involved that I decided to change my name. And, it was started off as my nom de plume as an artist and exhibiting in London. And then I took it a step further and just felt to really rebrand, rename myself. I did it legally, so it's on both my passports, and really step into a new energy around my artwork and about my philosophy around life also.
I love that so much because there's a connectivity there that you have.
Yes, a deep connection. I had a deep connection with the material. I actually changed my name to Sequin Crystal Diamond. So it's a journey. It's a journey. I've been through crystal phase and I'm in been through sequin phase and I'm in crystal phase at the moment. So it's all about glass, light, water, reflectivity. My art practice is an evolution and my name is also an evolution. So it mirrors each other quite beautifully.
Where did this start? I mean, did you, as a kid, see all this in yourself? Were you an artist kind of kid? Did you fall into it? Like, do you remember that moment?
I mean, the first moment I really delved into creativity was when I was about 14, 13, 14. I just loved life drawing. And then that went into, working with sculptures and umbrellas and broken and found bits of objects. And, my art teacher was fantastic at school. And I was commissioned at the age of 15 to create a mosaic to go outside the library. And that's when it really hit me that I loved working with my hands predominantly and drawing and cracking tiles and making all these associations between thoughts, emotion, and object. So it started there. And then that evolved into me going to art college, going to Camberwell, going to Goldsmiths, studying painting, abstract expressionism. So I really, delved into painting for quite some years. And it wasn't until living in South London after studying that I really found reflective surfaces very alluring. And I kind of started linking them to depth psychology and how I was feeling in my inner world. So it was actually, yeah, around after I graduated that I really found my footing with my material. And I remember one of my tutors saying, the materials will always guide you. So you can spend a lot of time as an artist quite confused about what you're trying to say or create. But then you find your material and it's like, this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to communicate.
And for you, what is it that you're trying to communicate?
I'm trying to communicate many things. I think the main essence is turning darkness into light, the act of alchemy, the act of inner transformation. How do we turn our darkest moments into moments of power? How do we transform pain into power? How do we transform dark thoughts into something which can evolve? Those moments that are the toughest, those moments we don't understand, that are in, confusion. I aim to make works of art that illuminate, that bring healing and bring light and bring, yeah, a sense of beauty back into the world.
It's really fascinating that you talk about that because I think so many people want to do these kinds of things, but they hold themselves back. Somebody listening right now questions whether, well, will it matter? Well, am I good enough?
Hmm.
Did you have those moments or did you just say, I'm just going to go ahead and do this because I want to do it?
Oh my gosh, there have been absolute crippling moments of doubt and self confusion. The road ahead is never clear sometimes, especially as a creative. You're really walking your own path and you can't sometimes even see the next step. But, every piece you make, if you sit with it, it reveals something back to you and you think, okay, this is maybe what I've been going through. This is the next piece I'd like to make. I think doubt is a universal theme. I don't think anyone escapes from that, from all the people I've spoken to, whatever profession, but we have to find that light in the doubt, by speaking to people, by listening to inspirational people, reading, pausing, reflecting. I think I've definitely had those moments, but I've spoken to friends or I've sought counsel in other artists and try to understand the creative process as much as I can and know. I think the biggest thing is knowing you're not alone on it, if you want to start drawing, if you want to start creating, it's, finding another person that likes to do that and doing it together. And then you don't feel maybe so alone or so frightened to start the journey.
Yeah, I love that, and it goes with this show, it also goes what I do on the side, which is I'm a self-published author, and I've written 3 books, I have my 4th book, I found an old book, I was like, "Oh, look at this." I found an old book that I wrote, like, 10 years ago, and I sort of put to the side, I'm like, "Well, I gotta get back to this one too." But I've had so many people along this journey say to me, "Oh, I wanna tell a story, I just don't have time." Right?
Yes.
Or I don't know that anybody would care about my story and, like, why it's that end result thing always, and
Hmm.
it is part of and we talk about that on here a lot, it's like, the journey you take may not end up where you think it's gonna end up. It may end up in a completely different place that will challenge you, or reward you, or fulfill you, or leave you with utter and total desperation, which will allow you to get to the next place, and that's
Yeah.
the thing about being an artist, right?
Yes. Well, congratulations on your book, Steve.
Oh,
I'd love
thank
to
you
know
so
more.
much.
Love to know more about
Oh my
those.
god,
And
they're so sick of hearing me plug them on here, but no, yeah, I will. I'll send you
oh
the
no, I'm
info.
definitely going to take a look. Love that. But you know what? You just don't know who you're affecting, how you're affecting them.
Right.
You just don't know how far your message is going to reach. It could reach to the other side of the world. It could reach a 15-year-old teenager or a 92-year-old older lady, and that story could open something up in their hearts and inspire something that you never even thought, because, we are unlimited beings, and you just don't know the effect you're going to have. And you have to start, and it starts growing, and the people love seeing people share and doing things. And I've said one or two things sometimes on podcasts or in an interview, and it's really affected some of the people. Like, wow, I never thought of it that way. And you're like, I'm so happy I shared that. Maybe it was vulnerable and it was hard, but we have an impact, and we all have a purpose, and we all have something to say that needs to be heard.
And you're giving permission to people
Mm.
to see it in themselves, and that gets back to this whole reflection thing that we've been talking about, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
that is a very, very powerful thing. It's what you just talked about. I wanna ask you this, when you're working on a piece of art, like, I was looking at your art before we spoke, and you have a picture of Princess Diana that you did.
Yes, yeah.
It's stunning because it's a mixture of painting, but you also, as we'd call it in the United States, bedazzled it.
Bedazzled, I love that
You
word.
did, you shined it up. You know what I mean? You added all of these elements to her outfit, to her white outfit that already real life was there in the photo. My question to you is, when do you know a painting is finished?
Very interesting question, Steve. It's a strange one. So you create something, and the Diana piece isn't finished yet, and I didn't know that until only recently, when I reread an article about her and I reopened a book that I'd been reading about her, and I realized that maybe some pieces and some elements hadn't come together. It could take years to finish a painting, because sometimes the message isn't finished. You think it looks finished visually, but on a deeper level, something in you hasn't completed the story, and something about the painting and the timing of when it's completed isn't finished. Sometimes you just know it's done, a geometric piece, it's done, it's mathematics, it's complete. But a more of an emotionally driven piece, such as Diana, which is about the wounded feminine, um, that could take a few years to finish, because there's many layers to that I'm researching, and more images come up, more symbols arise in my life. I think that goes with that painting. So when but sometimes I put things away in storage and bring them out a year later, and I'm like, that needs another layer. You just sort of have to trust that process, and the painting will tell you when it's finished.
It's so amazing. It's so it's so amazing to hear that too because I've told this story before. I know I told the story in here a while ago. My cousin came out to Hollywood a long time ago when I lived in LA, and I was putting up this show, and she was in the show, and she said to me, her goal was to just put the show up. It was a one woman thing, one woman show thing, and she said, I just want to put my show up, do it one time, and then be like, there, I'm done and I can move on with my life. And I looked at my cousin and who's like 10, 15 years younger than I am, and I said, "No, you're never done. You're never done. You're it that this may be done, but the next thing, that's part of being in touch with ourselves as human beings and growing as human beings. It's like no one like I've said this before on the show too. No, I'm saying a lot of things that I'm repeating. We don't go to the gym one time and be like, "And done. I went one day and
Yeah.
I'm" you know what I mean? Like, I use this analogy because I think it's relatable. I've been going to the gym, I realized this the other day. I've been going to the gym for 37 years.
Whoa,
And
whoa.
I started when I was 19, and I'm still trying to get to that place. I still see myself as that 19-year-old who going, "Okay, I gotta work on this now." But I think
Wow.
that's what's really amazing is the human, um, existence
Mhm,
of
mhm.
knowing that we can keep moving forward. We can keep
Yes.
creating.
Yes. This whole, I think definitely I've struggled with outcome and process, definitely. And it really is about the process. And I've definitely come, embodied more the process of being an artist or a thespian or creative or going to the gym. It's about who you're becoming within that process, not the outcome. It's who are you evolving each day to be within what you're doing. And that's the most important thing for me, I feel, the nugget of truth. It's who am I becoming every day I'm walking this path. And the outcome, the final outcome sort of fades into the distance and becomes a little irrelevant sometimes. It's just, are you becoming a better person? Are you in touch more with yourself and others? And yeah, it's that. I think that's the most vital.
And then it goes to the much bigger question
Oh,
as
bigger
we
question.
pull back. Yes, which is why do we need art right now in the world?
Oh, love that question. I think it's an absolute necessity right now. I feel, the art is about the invisible world, the world we can't see, the world behind our eyes, all the thoughts and feelings. Literature's fantastic, acting, films, all fantastic ways of conveying story that are important for human survival. And art has a different role to play. It shows like it slows down feeling. When you stand in front of an art piece, this contemplative nature that can take place can lead you to all sorts of places in your mind. And once you see maybe the struggle or resolution that an artist has gone through, it can help people individually and collectively understand their own psyches and struggles and understand themselves a lot more. I feel we need more expression, more beauty, more freedom, more aliveness in this world more than ever at the moment.
Do you have a favorite painting? Do you have a favorite sculpture? Do you have a favorite museum in the world at large? Is there one that you dreamed about your whole life to go see and you saw it and went, wow?
Well, I recently went to Paris to see the Gerard Richter retrospective. I managed to catch it on the last day. And I've been absolutely in love with him and his process for years. So that was a stunning exhibition in Paris. That really inspired, motivated, and moved me on quite a big level. He's a German abstract expressionist and formative painter as well. But it honestly, I walked in the first room and I tears came to my eyes because it reminded me to keep going. I think he's 91 and still painting. Just longevity, keep going. I walked in at the beginning of his career when he was 21 and that moved me. I've so many paintings that I just adore, I really do. It's very hard to sort of pinpoint, but Yayoi Kusama also, when I saw her show at the Tate Modern, moved me to tears as well. It's these artists that go on till their 90s, this pure passion, this longevity, this I'm not stopping, really really inspires me quite deeply.
So about an hour ago, before we started recording, you put up a what looks like a brand new piece of art called oh, you're going to make this difficult on me. Uh, based on I'm going to say this right. Fibonacci? Did I say that right?
Yes, 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 Fibonacci artwork, yes.
The golden ratio. You wrote the golden rule of conduct is mutual toleration. seeing that we will never all think alike and we shall always see truth in fragments and from different points of vision.
Yes.
Where did that thought process come from, and how do you put that down on a canvas?
Oh my God, it's so funny you picked up on that. Well, yeah, I'm really in love with mathematics. It's the ultimate truth. And with maths, there are no words. So there is this kind of universal truth when you're looking at geometry. And I think a lot of us are all trying to seek truth. And that is from that's a mix of all my readings, from the Art of War to Plato, to different mathematicians. I just think we're all trying to get to this universal truth, and words confuse it all. They kind of take away aspects of the truth, but there is just one truth, which is maths. And that really fascinates me. And I think that's where we're all trying to head in some way. And that piece was the first from a collection that are all looking at light, maths, water, and geometry. How do we communicate truth without words in a world of, how many people are on this? About 9 billion points of view. It's just trying to get to that singular point of understanding and truth and resonance without words, which confuse it, if that makes sense.
It's very simple, but it's also very complex and very powerful when you connect to it.
Yes, yeah, yeah. But I'm fascinated about how artwork can bring people together, how it can unify. And that word's very important for me, the union within yourself, the union between others, and art, stand in front of a painting and everyone go, oh, wow. It's that universal truth of whatever that is, that aha moment, that feeling that, and it doesn't come with words, it comes through your eyes. And then it results in a feeling. So that really fascinates me how artwork can unify and bring people together.
What is next for you? You said you have an exhibit coming in May.
I have an exhibition, a solo show in Ibiza. That's going to bring together a few different types of my artwork. That's end of May, and I also am working on a crystal sunset commission for a client as well, and I'm creating new pieces in my studio in the UK. I'm creating new artworks which are going to be more mobile, looking at movement, light, and crystal. So I'm in an exhibition phase and also an exploratory phase as well, looking at how I can bring movement into my work.
And you're also working on a Bitcoin crystal project, which I'd like you to speak to because I was looking at it and I was so fascinated by it. Is it something that we, the public, anywhere can be part of, take part of, buy part of?
Yes, yes, this is birthing at the moment, and I'm building a 21-piece gold Swarovski crystal Bitcoin collection and a 21-piece rainbow crystal collection as well. So I'm looking at the power of color, currency, again, unification and transformation. So this collection is going to be a 42-piece collection, and they're exhibited in Dubai at the moment and Ibiza. So all the information is on my website and on Instagram, and people can also commission their own specific color as well. So if someone wants a specific hue, specific color that they relate to, I can make that with paint and crystal. But it's about electricity and currency and information. And I'm just fascinated how we're entering into this new age, and it's just something I want, make tangible. So people actually go, wow, I have a piece of artwork that reflects the times 2026, 2027, this digital age. And I know there's a lot of controversy around this, but I feel it is liberating. And one of my, inner themes is about liberation from anything that could be holding you back. And this collection, that the quote that came to me was about breaking every chain within inside myself. And this Bitcoin collection is about breaking the chains that bind us. If that's the financial system, if that's something in your mind, but how do we break those chains? And I think Bitcoin, it is a representation of liberation or breaking bindings, breaking chains, going into the new. And that collection is reflecting that.
And it's such an evolution. Have you been to Frameless in right by the in Marylebone by the Marble Arch?
No, I haven't.
Okay, next time when you're back in London,
Mm-hmm.
you and I will meet for a coffee and
Yes.
we will go to Frameless.
Let's go
I
to
am
Frameless. Love
I'm
it.
obsessed with Frameless. Everyone who knows me is going to start laughing. It's like a mandatory stop for anybody coming to visit. In fact, I have friends coming in today. I already got us tickets for Thursday. Every person who comes here. So Frameless is in Marylebone, and it's right across the street from the Arch, or the Arc, whichever way you would like to say it. And it is 5 rooms of digital moving art.
Oh, yes, I've heard about this. Yes, yes.
The best part is room number 2,
Mm-hmm.
I work in video production and I don't understand how they do it, but on the floor there's like splattering of paint and snowflakes, and it keeps changing, and leaves, and as you walk they move. And if you walk really quickly with your feet, you can push it all up onto the walls, and then it splatters on the walls.
Oh my gosh, how much fun.
Kids go bananas. You have to be ready for screaming children. Who doesn't love that? But I love it because it is what you're talking about. It's taking art, classic works, into the current age, into the age we're in, and reinventing them in a space. The music is outstanding. I literally need to go get a job there because I would never get any work done.
Oh my gosh, you're obsessed. You're obsessed, Steve. Obsession
I
is
am,
good in my world.
but I love it. I love it because I love the feeling it gives you. And I think that's something you relate to, because I think that that's something everyone listening to is, if there's a work of art or a book or a piece of music or whatever it is, it's that feeling. And that is what we strive for.
Yes, yes, yeah, most definitely. Well, that place sounds like a lot of fun. And it's, yeah, how do you bring your inner world out into the outer world? And I think art, creativity, visuals, digital art, it's all a bridge. I think we're all trying to bridge inner, outer, inner, outer. And that's really important for me. How do we create that bridge? How do we bring messages from the 14th century into today? When I walk around the National Gallery in London, I'm just blown away by the messages of the past and how they're still so relevant today.
Oh, yes. Okay. So tell us, where do we find you? How do we get to know you? How do we explore more of the art world with you? Plug away your website and your socials, please, right now. Go.
Sure. Here you go. So my Instagram is Sequin Kay. You can find all my collections of work on there. And I've just had a recent article come out on the luxury report. So that can be found online as well. And yeah, my website, Sequin Kay Art. You can find me on there, and I have videos of my work, and I'm slowly, slowly building a YouTube channel of my processes, and we'll start to be talking about each of my pieces I create and the meaning behind it.
The final 2 questions we ask every guest. Super easy or not. Don't panic. You can answer any way you like. Question number 1 is, who inspires you?
Who inspires me? Oh my gosh. That's a big that's a big question. I need a little bit of time to think about that. There's been so many. I mean, right now I'd say Marion Woodman. She's a Jungian depth psychologist. She's also an artist as well, and a creative. Not with us anymore, but her writings, her stories, her books, her understandings of the mind and the soul and the psyche massively inspire my life, my work, and my understanding of myself. She's a huge inspiration within my work.
And the final question is not a question. It is a statement to finish. You can finish it any way you like. It can be about anything. It goes like this. Finish this. Tell me something good.
We are all on this beautiful planet, and we're all here to experience divine beauty. And may we all open our eyes on an even deeper and wider level and see the beauty that is around us, and have faith in good that surrounds us all. And I leave with a message of peace and love.
Thank you, Sequin Kay, for sharing your good self with us. Next time on World Gone Good.
And this is the thing about life. You go on a journey and you say, when I get successful, but it's the journey that you need to embrace. It's not when you get to where you think you need to be. It's embracing the full length of the ups and downs of the journey. And before you even know it, you're where you want to be.
We continue to embrace our creative side with good guest Savia Rocks. She's a writer, storyteller, poet, singer-songwriter, and photographer. I don't know when she sleeps. So she is all about creativity and art and community. She also created and hosts the Us People podcast. And you know how much I love having fellow podcasters join me here. We're going to talk about the importance of uplifting those around us, sharing to create community, and why there are so many coffee shops here in London. The important stuff, people. I can't wait for you to hear our amazingly good conversation on our next all-new episode. Until then, be good.